Hello, I'm your superhero critic, and welcome to 2018. I've decided to dive back into the 80s for the beginning of this.
After 5 successful seasons of The Incredible Hulk show, ending in 1982, we get 6 years later in New World Television producing this film as well as two other sequels, The Trial of the Incredible Hulk and The Death of the Incredible Hulk. This television movie acted as a backdoor pilot for an unproduced television series featuring Thor. Much like the television treatment of the Hulk, Thor's backstory has been completely altered from his original comic book appearance. While in the comics, Blake and Thor share the same body and could transform by using the enchanted cane. Thor here is depicted as being a servant of Blake, and they are two different people.
So that being said, let's dive into the very first of the three TV films, Return of the Incredible Hulk.
The power of a bull
Ain't no monster clown who is as lovable
as ever-loving Hulk. Hulk, Hulk.
We begin on the beach with Banner in a robe, enjoying watching his girlfriend run with her dog. Banner does some romantic-ish things.
Tickles.
Supposed to tickle. You smell delicious. You taste pretty good, too.
And by romantic, I mean disturbingly fucking creepy. Who the fuck smells their partner like that?
Our couple have a talk about David's past as we learn the movie takes place 2 years since David has become the Hulk. David just wants to reassure her that she needs to let his past go. Then, at the Lambert Institute, we learn of a gamma transponder that can help with gamma radiation, and of course it's David who is responsible for helping. But it turns down wanting any publicity from it. Later that night, while David is trying to use the equipment to experiment on himself, he is stopped by a random person. This asshole's name is Donald Blake, who used to be a student of Banner, who tells us of an expedition he was on where he stumbles upon a cave and finds within it a tomb holding Thor. Donald opens the tomb to find Mjolnir, waking up Thor.
Wouldn't let go.
He's alive! He's alive!
The two continue to talk, with David trying to get Donald to believe that it's all fake. So Donald does the only thing he can think of, which is summoning Thor to them.
I wish just shouting out my girlfriend's name summoned her, but it doesn't work that way.
Thor is more concerned with finding something to drink and begins destroying the place, all while pushing Banner around, causing him to be shoved into computers, electrocuting him, and bringing back the Hulk. Our two frenemies begin to tear each other apart, all while tearing the building apart as well. The fight eventually leads outside.
For once, can a superhero think about a Windows feelings?
The Hulk runs into the night, and the next morning, Thor is sent by Blake to find Banner, and they discuss Blake's fault in bringing the Hulk back. Meanwhile, no one believes the story of the two giants fighting, and Lambert makes a deal with a criminal to organize the kidnapping of David and the transponder. We then go back to the Institute, where Lambert questions David about what really happened, not getting any information out of him. The journalist that has been looking for the Hulk shows up and asks questions on what's going on.
As Trump would say, fake news!
Blake summons Thor to get some answers to the questions he wants, but Thor just wants some nourishment before he'll answer anything, so they decide to head to the bar, which ends exactly how you'd expect it to, with a lot of drinking, arm wrestling, and dancing with random girls. Oh, and of course a bar fight that leads nowhere. Thor and Blake discuss Thor using his powers for good, and Thor helps call for a cab.
I really wish it was that easy. Have you ever tried to get an Uber or a Lyft in a snowstorm? It's fucking expensive.
That night, our contractors' men have disguised themselves as a security and attack Banner, causing the Hulk to come out to handle with all of them. The Hulk then heads to the place he feels safe and transforms back into Banner right in front of Maggie. Our criminal lord, of course, is pissed off that things did not go the way he wanted them to, and our lovebirds discuss Banner's secret only to be interrupted by a helicopter. Blake shows up and summons Thor to help, while Banner is shot in the process, making Hulk appear as well. But within the scuffle, the men snatch up Maggie, and they try to get away, only for our heroes to try to pull the copter down. But they both lose their grips, and our three heroes then discuss what they need to do.
When they tell us what they want and where the trade will be, then we'll know what to do.
What we'll do is attack them.
Better put away your nipples!
The press man is trying to get a hold of Bannon, so they have Thor pretend to be Bannon and intimidate him. Lambert has a meeting with his partner that does not seem to go his way, and David and Donald begin talking about what they can do, as David decides to destroy the piece that will help him cure himself. Lambert is now in the hospital due to our villain kicking his ass, and we then go back to our heroes who are sneaking around where they think Maggie is being held. Banner witnesses Lambert's father trying to take things into his own hands.
They murdered him, damn you!
Josh, you've got to leave. I know how you feel, but you just can't do this.
You think I'm responsible, don't you? You think Zach could be alive today if I thought about his feelings as a man? Well, it wasn't me, it was them. They corrupted him and then they destroyed him.
Josh, the gun, Josh. Give it to me.
Josh tries to get away, but Hulk stops him by holding his car, our villain's men beginning the shootout, and in turn our heroes take them all out. Thor stopping our villain's partner from leaving by car by throwing his hammer into it. Our villain LeBeau takes Maggie hostage only for Hulk to destroy his rubber gun and tie him up with a pipe. After Hulk and Thor leave before the cops show up, Maggie puts two and two together and figures out that the Green Man was Banner even though he transformed right in front of her. McGee is told to drop the story with no proof of it, and our movie then ends with our heroes saying their farewells. Our lovebirds understand why David has to leave, and we end with the slow, depressing walk the show was known for.
No use. He's gone.
This film is exactly what you expect from it. 100% cheesy and 100% 80s. But it fits in with the franchise that has already been established with the show. That being said, next week I will be tackling the pilot episode of one of my favorite franchises that is actually turning 25 in August. Power Rangers. That also being said, head on over to my Twitter where I have a poll that will be closing this Sunday once I post the pilot episode, and vote on which episode you want me to do based on all of the Power Rangers spin-offs that deal with their origins. So, that being said, would you want me to do a review on Big Bad Beetleborgs, Mystic Knights of Turnagog, VR Troopers, or Masked Rider? Go ahead and follow me on Twitter and tell me what you want me to review. I'm your superhero critic, and I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome.